Shalom and welcome to Biblical Hebrew Lesson 21. Today we are looking at the meanings of the letters Kabbalah. Aleph symbolizes leadership, strength, and the oneness of God. The shape of the Aleph is two yods, one above and one below, and a diagonal line, the Vav, between them, representing the higher world and the lower world, with the Vav separating and connecting the two. Aleph represents the creation of something from nothing. It is the essential symbol of beginnings, an ultimate reality that cannot be talked about, timeless, spaceless, and present everywhere. It is the one that cannot be divided, representing perfection beyond human comprehension. Bet represents a house or dwelling, symbolizing creation or family. Bet is the first letter of the story of creation, starting the entire Torah. It represents the beginning of duality, with the one creator bringing forth a created world, so that there can be both a giver, the creator, and a receiver, the created world. This creates a dramatic leap from absolute oneness to the ability for there to be two. It also creates the possibility for all duality and opposites, yes and no, hot and cold, man and woman, up and down, etc. It represents the universal concept of a container or vessel. Thus, the created world is meant to house within it the spiritual. The physical world is meant to be a place for the Creator's glory to manifest. The body is meant to contain the soul, allowing it to act in this world. The dual world actually contains within it the ultimate oneness, but concealed. The bet is the tool, the source of all building, containing and then bringing forth all of the other letters. Gimmel, a camel, often seen as a symbol of kindness and the act of giving. Gimmel is a third principle which arises to resolve and harmonize these opposites. Gimmel links and balances between the Aleph and the Bet. It is a dynamic balance between opposing powers. So Gimmel is a letter of constant transformation, change and motion, and translates literally as a camel, an animal we associate with motion and travel between faraway places. Gimmel includes the opposites of both giving and receiving, and reward and punishment, creating balance and motion between these opposites. It represents giving and receiving. It represents kindness and cultivation, the organic nurturance that causes things to grow. It represents the Creator's eternal benevolence to all creation, manifested with abundant life and prosperity. Dalet represents a door, symbolizing humility or the pathway to something greater. It represents a door or gate and indicates resistance and the state of selflessness and humility needed to pass through it. It indicates how to pass through the gates to know one's own mystery of being and return to the power of the Aleph, the one source of all creation and being. It signifies humility and receptiveness. It represents self-nullification or nullification of the ego, necessary to realize one's inherent connection to the Creator. It also represents the diligence required to receive. It represents our dependence upon the Creator, without whom we are not, and that every breath and movement is given to us from Him. It also represents structure. Its form of a horizontal and vertical line represents a grid giving structure to the form. It is shaped like a stair or a step. It is shaped like a stair step. The structure and overcoming of resistance needed to study. It indicates strong will, diligence, perseverance, patience, ability to concentrate, organization, planning, building. It shows us the structure and stability required to receive. Hey symbolizes revelation, breath, and God's creative power. Psalms 33 verse 6, by the word of the Lord the heavens were made, and by the breath of his mouth all their hosts. The world was created with the utterance of the Hey. It represents the gift of life and creates the verb of being. It is divinity, the spiritual life that comes about through the first 4 letters. It represents the life essence of all creation. It symbolizes the effortlessness of the world. Hey is the one of the letters of the holy name, giving it a special significance within alefbet. Vav represents a hook or a connector, often symbolizing connection and continuation. Vav is the power to unite everything that is separated in creation. Literally, Vav means hook or peg, and the Hebrew letter is the vertical line. It represents the vertical line extension of the Creator's perfection into the created world in order to constantly direct it, guiding the cycle of existence step by step until eventually the perfect oneness of the Creator, which underlies all of creation, is revealed. Vav is related to the direct light of the Creator entering the world. It has the power to connect heaven and earth. It can be considered like a hose or a tube which connects and bestows all the energy of the Shefa, abundance from above, down to the created beings. It represents the ladder of Yaakov, rooted in earth with its head in the heavens. It is the extension of the essential dot yod, which all of creation comes from. The Vav can teach us the state of constant presence needed to connect our own heaven and earth, physical and spiritual aspects. It represents the bringing of life, abundance, continuity and addition. Zayin symbolizes a weapon or tool representing struggle or sustenance. The Zayin is shaped like a sword and is a symbol of spirit, sustenance and struggle. It represents the 7th day of Shabbat, the day of rest and spirituality, which completes the process of the 6 days of creation. It includes the 6 days and 6 directions of physical reality, but also stands as a unique 7th principle, the spirit which activates the physical. The Zayin is a source of all movement. It is an impregnating principle which activates the creation. Zayin is drawn with a Vav, with a crown on top of it. The Vav is related to the direct light of the Creator coming down into the created world. The Zayin relates to the Or Hosa, the returning light, which follows the path of the Vav to return and then spread out when it reaches the crown. The Zayin impregnates all of life and allows the Vav to spread, opening the field of every possibility. Ket represents life or a fence, symbolizing protection or boundary. Ket is the letter of life. It represents infinite possibilities. It is undifferentiated substance and energy, containing all the possibilities that could come into being. Ket indicates the ability of the human to rise and go beyond nature. It is related to the neshama, the soul. It represents the power of choice as well as the qualities of charm and grace which stem from the soul. It is a revolving gateway, a power to enter a higher level, to enter the mysteries of one's soul and then return to the worldly consciousness. The ancient form of the letter looks like a ladder, indicating the ability to go above and beyond limitations. It also signifies transcending nature as represented by the 7th day of creation. It is the essence of the human being to break through nature to spiritual realization. It is also in the word for the prophecy, chazon, and wisdom, kokmah. Please refer to the earlier lessons where we learnt the alefbet, that's lessons 1 to 3, because there we look at the numerical value of the letters and it's also important within the meaning. Also refer to the lesson 14 on the history of the alefbet. Remember to study, go over the flashcards, go over the previous lessons, and if you have any questions, please put it in the comments and I will respond as soon as possible. Shalom, have a great day.